There are so many people saying some weird nonsense. My face is completely straight. I ignored him. When is she coming? I keep counting the days. It's raining, it's pouring. One friend. How are you so thin? I sat on the toilet. Perfect. The aunties followed us. It was really unexpected. I'm sorry. That's my tiny story. My tiny mix story. My tiny. I've got the disease of laughing. My dad came early. I left off to eat. We had nothing to eat on the tournament day. Oh, you do for mood, right? My mom said yes. I had so much fun. 100 times fun. There was like lollipops. I'm a kid. So I'm a kid. He paints there. What could go wrong now? Hard. What's wrong with him? Teaching. That's my tiny Mac story. That's my tiny Mac story. My tiny Mac story. That's my tiny Mac story. Today we had our field trip. It was like such a talkative class. I would make my signature cookies. I got such good food. Is there any friends near me? We should do a dance. Terrible thing happened. She has pranked us. The children were laughing. Ha ha ha. Pranked this drill. I don't know what to do with it. Pranked my mother all the way to the other end of the campus. Yes, I just simply had to convince all my family. I'm pretty glad. So many things. Our first sing with me. Deadline. That's my tiny Mike story. That's my tiny Mike story. That's my tiny Mike story. Not just any shopping. No, don't go. How much time will I do on the spot? We stopped there alone in the dark. I didn't even have time to prepare. What could they be doing? I am really fascinated to see what happens next. It was in the back of my head. They're like this big. It happens like 3 times in a year. There's no air inside. By accident, I stepped on it. It started crying. It's crazy. Can this be my story? That's my tiny Mike story. My tiny Mike story. That's my tiny Mike story.
Hello, welcome, everybody. My name is Sudarshan. It still says Tiny Mike Story on my name here, but my name is Sudarshan. It is very nice to see everyone. I know some of you are existing students of Tiny Mike Story. Some of you are new. Some of you probably have just seen something online and want to know more. So perhaps quickly in the chat, I would love to know if you are already a student of Tiny Mike Story, as in you've had some session with me, please either raise your hand or say me or just M. M for me, or just raise your hand and okay, I see hi Nirvan. I see hi. Yes, hi Zadan. Good to see you. I remember a few of the other faces as well. Okay, wonderful. I see Advik's mom is also here. Great. Is there somebody who has no idea about this and is meeting me for the first time? If yes, say first, like you could just type the number one. So I understand that you're meeting me for the very first time then. Just put one. You've never met me before. You have no idea what this is, and then you can just type one. Okay, so there's a few people who've never seen me before. No problem. I see some people have come from my workshop with the adults as well. Great. Okay, so a lot of different people are coming through. Awesome. This is also being recorded because a lot of people had asked for it. So if anybody is not okay with being recorded, you can keep your video off and just send me a message. But otherwise, we'll record this for anyone who can't make it live. I'll tell you more about what this is in just a while. But all our calls begin with some sort of dancing. By the way, I'm going to try and make sure this is useful and effective for Darsh, who's been a part of Tiny Mike Story for quite some time, for Athar, who's been a part of quite some Tiny Mike Story for quite some time and is on the call. And at the same time, this is effective and useful for somebody who's completely new as well. Before we do that, though, the way we begin every Tiny Mike Story call is by movement and dancing. So here's what I'm going to do. You're welcome to keep your videos on. I'm going to play some music. And while the music is going on the screen, you will see different prompts. And what you can do is follow the prompts. If not, you can just get up, stretch, move around a bit. We're just getting ready for the entire session because being on the computer, online sessions can get quite tiring after quite some time. So we want to make sure it's not that. So everybody, feel free to move around. I will be dancing behind the scenes as well, but you could just follow whatever is happening. Okay, so we start immediately after. Give me a thumbs up if that sounds okay. Show me a thumbs up. Yes, 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 yes. I see a few thumbs up. Okay, here we go.
Alo, salut! Sunt eu, un haiduc și te rog, iubirea mea, primește fericirea. Alo, alo, sunt eu, Picasso, ți-am dat bip și sunt voinic, dar să știi, nu-ți cer nimic. Vrei să pleci, dar numai ei, numai ei, numai ei, chipul tău și dragostea din tei, mi-amintesc de ochii tăi, ei. Vrei să pleci, dar numai ei, numai ei, numai ei, chipul tău și dragostea din tei, mi-amintesc de ochii tăi, ei. Te sun să-ți spun ce simt acum. Alo, iubirea mea, sunt eu, fericirea. Alo, alo, sunt iarăși eu, Picasso, ți-am dat bip și sunt voinic, dar să știi, nu-ți cer nimic. Vrei să pleci, dar numai ei, numai ei, numai ei, chipul tău și dragostea din tei, mi-amintesc de ochii tăi, ei. Vrei să pleci, dar numai ei, numai ei, numai ei, chipul tău și dragostea din tei, mi-amintesc de ochii tăi, ei. Vrei să pleci, dar numai ei, numai ei, numai ei, chipul tău și dragostea din tei, mi-amintesc de ochii tăi, ei. Vrei să pleci, dar numai ei, numai ei, numai ei, chipul tău și dragostea din tei, mi-amintesc de ochii tăi, ei.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining along and dancing along. I love dancing. When I was a kid, I used to dance all the time because there was this neighbor of mine. His name was Rohan Sontake. And when he used to dance, I used to be like, oh, wow, he dances so well. And I wanted to dance like Rohan Bhaiya. I wanted to be like Rohan Bhaiya because Rohan Bhaiya was so incredibly nice to look at when he used to dance. I was like, oh, I want to learn that. And over time, I learned how to dance. Over time, I used to dance all the time. And I realized everything that I've learned because somebody that I looked up to, somebody that was around me, somebody that I thought was cool and fun. I started emulating them. I started doing whatever they were doing. So Rohan Bhaiya was one of them. Because I thought he was cool and he was fun, I wanted to dance and I started dancing. Then when I came to Pune, I come from a small town to Pune. When I'd come to Pune, what happened was I met this friend of mine called Saurabh. And so I thought was really cool because he used to play football. So I was like, okay, Saurabh's cool. He's fun. He plays football. So I want to learn how to play football. And then I started playing football. Similarly, when I went to my school, there were a few people who would speak really well. And I used to think, oh, it'd be so nice if I could at some time at least be able to speak like that. Now, over time, what happened though was because I thought everybody around me spoke really well and they spoke in English, I thought I couldn't speak like them. So I became not as confident. So I became really shy. So my teachers helped me notice it, overcome it, and eventually I learned how to speak well as well. Why do I tell you all of this? Because there are kids as well as parents on this call, and I will structure it for both of them. But a lot of times we do things because our parents tell us to do it. A lot of times we do things because somebody tells us, hey, this is important for you. And we sit in front of the computer, we go to classes, we go to schools, and we have to listen to teachers say this and that. But there's another way to learn, which can just be fun. And that happens when you're really excited to learn something. You watch somebody else do it really well, and you're like, oh, I wish I could do that. And then slowly you figure out how to do it too. At Tiny Mike Story, our intention is to make the public speaking part or communicating, storytelling part fun. Now, for some of you, it's already fun. For some of you, you're probably here because your parents said, okay, sit in front of the computer and listen. There is something here for you to listen to. For some of you, you are an adult and you just here because somebody sent you this link and you want to be a part of it. In any case, no matter who you are, today and tomorrow is a workshop for me to share everything that we have learned over the last few months of running virtual sessions for some kids. We invited only a few kids for this. So, even everybody who was a part of Tiny Mike Stories program, we sent some invites, and some of the kids came to be a part of it. Some of them are here as well. I see Atharv's here, Nirvan's here, Dev's here, Darsh is here, all Advik's mom is here. All of them are here and they are a part of the life stage. What I want to know, what I want to do is perhaps share what has worked for us and what has worked for all of these kids in the hope that you can implement it at home. Now, if you're already enrolled in the Confident Child Blueprint, even after today and tomorrow, I will be doing these workshops with different things that we include all throughout the week. But if not, no problem. Just today and tomorrow, my intention is to, in a way, give you all the download of everything we've learned so that you could do it at home. By the way, I see, I think Tanvi as well as Nikita ji, Tanvi. I think Tanvi ji, both of you are from my session that I'm doing with Havild for the elders. So you will see a lot of overlap. So everything that I'm doing with the elders, I have essentially taken from what I do with the kids as well. So you will see quite a lot of overlap. It'll just be more fun as well. Okay, that's enough of me speaking. Here's what I want everybody to do. Okay, I want everybody to go around. I said Rohan Bhaiya was fun, Saurabh was fun, and football was fun, dancing was fun. Look around you, find one thing that gives you a lot of joy that you think is very fun, and go and get it. I'll give you exactly 13 seconds to go and find it. Everybody, not right now. When I count down from three, everybody goes, runs, and finds something that's extremely fun, and you go and get it and show it to the camera. Okay, ready, everybody? Don't move, Darsh. I didn't give the countdown. No, 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 no. Okay, okay, okay. In 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and go. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. I see. Some people are back. I see some people are back. Okay, okay, okay. Uh, Fine, 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 fine. Okay, great. Let me see if I could call some people. And Darsh, what is it that you have? Could you unmute, please?
Yeah, so right now I have a smartwatch that I received yesterday, and I was pretty excited because I wanted to test out what all it has. Only, even though I am only used to, like, I only have the purpose of calling on it, But I really wanted to try other than that, and there is Play Store, camera, and many other things which I tested out in school, by the way, for today. It was
Okay.
my first day in school with that.
Okay, great. So you have that. How about Vihan? Vihan, quickly, could you unmute and tell me what it is that you have? You can
Yes,
just tell
yes.
me what it is that you have.
Science. So science.
You have a,
Science.
you have a science.
Hmm.
Aha, okay. What is the sign for?
Science. He means
Science.
science as a subject.
Science as a subject. I love the fact that you think science as a subject is the most fun thing around you. Which is fantastic. Okay, what about Shlok's mom?
So, so these are chocolate cookies. Anything chocolate makes me happy.
Okay, anything chocolate makes you happy. Okay, great. Who else? Who else has got something? What about Jaden? Yeah, yeah, you're unmuted. Go, go, go. Tell me.
So heroes are my favorite things. Like when I see heroes, I love to watch movies and all
Aha.
about heroes.
Okay, okay.
Destructive, and they destroy the bad guys.
Got it, got it. Okay, wonderful. Okay, super. So, everybody else, you could also put it in the chat. Okay, what are the other things that you've got around that are fun that you see? Now, the thing is, anything that's fun is interesting. We started Tiny Mike's story way back in 2016 as a passion project. And the basic idea was if we can make it fun for a child to come and share a story in on a stage, they will want to keep doing this again and again. And if they keep doing it again and again, they will get better. Over time, we've done different experiments. We had in-person events. We hosted 200, 250 open mics where 3,000 plus kids came and they spoke. The program got some notice. I got to speak about this at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, in Norway, in China, in USA. And I realized there's something really, really cool that happens when we are asked to do one simple thing every single day, which is look at what's happening. What do you see? What do you feel? And based on what you see and feel, could you tell a 1 minute story? Now, that 1 minute story from your life, something you see, something you feel, is what Tiny Mike story is. So, the Tiny Mike story is a 1 minute story about something you see and something you feel. And all of the kids online that you see, in the sessions that you see, are essentially doing this. So, for the next 3 minutes, all the kids, I'm going to talk a little bit about why we do it only for 3 minutes. And for these 3 minutes, if you feel a little bored, what you could do is in the chat, you could just find all the fun things that people have said and see whether those fun things are also fun for you. And if yes, you could just reply to that comment saying, hey, this is fun for me as well. And for all the adults, in while they do this, I'll speak a little bit about why we do what we do at Tiny Mike Story. Okay, everybody give me a thumbs up if that is okay. Yes, because if I just keep speaking for the kids, this might be boring. So for 3 minutes, this is for the adults, and for all the kids in the chat, you could see if somebody's written something that is fun for you as well. The reason we started Tiny Mike Story was very simple. We wanted to find a way to make speaking fun. But as we started doing this more and more, the program has evolved quite a bit. There's a lot of parents here who've attended workshops with me in the past or who have had kids be a part of Tiny Mike Story. This is a little meta of why we design everything that we design. Everything that we do is designed with these three pillars or these three lenses. What is the child's relationship with self? What is the child's relationship with their family? And what is the child's relationship with the wider community? When I say that we want to help kids become more confident, it's not just speaking confidence, it's genuine confidence in who they are. We've got a course which part of it is only for parents. And the reason for that is we don't just want the child to become really good as a speaker. We want the child to also genuinely be okay with, genuinely feel confident with who they are. And a parent is a big part of that. It's probably the most important part of that, which is why the course has a lot of emphasis on the parent and what the parent can do. Everything else here is downstream from that. Everything that we design is downstream from that. Now, for a child's relationship with self, with family, and with the community, we've kind of then broken it down into different pieces. So, what is a way in which a child can reflect every day? Reflect every day. What is a way in which a child can express every day? And what is a way in which a child can connect with the family or the wider community every single day? That's what we are trying to do. And when we started doing this again and again for different kids, we started thinking of how do we structure this into something that is fun for a child as well. And again, what we started to do was started to observe how when a child talks about what they observe and what they feel about what they observe, it ticks all of these boxes. And that is what has led to the basic concept of Tiny Mike Story and the basic building block of what we do. The basic building block is to have a child reflect on their everyday life with their families so that they could find a Tiny Mike story there, find a small story from their daily life. The way we operationalize this or the way we make it easy for you to implement is through something that I call the Tiny Mike Story game. And in fact, this is something that we're going to implement. For many of you who have been a part of my sessions with Hubble, this we've already played. For some of you who've been a part of my past sessions, you've seen this as well. For some of you who either as kids or your kids have come to my sessions, you will see everything revolves around this. Every single story you see on our Instagram page that the child speaks really well at comes from this game, comes from thinking of what happened today, what did I feel about what happened today. In fact, here's what I want you to do. This is one of the videos that I'm going to show are from inside the course. And one thing that I would like everybody to do from today, whether you come back to Tiny Mike Story in some capacity or not, I would love if you implement this at home with all of your family members. So everybody, all the kids, the 3 minutes are done. So this was my spiel for the parents. But if you can still hear me, everybody raise your right pinky, please. Okay, only a few people can hear me. All the others who cannot hear me, raise your right pinky, please. Okay. And put your right pinky on your head, please. Okay. So here's the fun thing, okay? In an online class, you can make people do anything and they actually do it. I had no reason to do this. I just wanted to make sure I got everybody's attention. So I did. There's no reason. From today, here's what I want everybody to do, okay? Every day, if you can look at what has happened today and think of, could this be a story? Could this be something that I could talk about? If you do this, you will be surprised at how incredible stories come from it. In fact, I'm going to play one and I want you to observe this story and I want you to think of, do you like this story? And if you like it, why do you like it? Okay? Give me a thumbs up if that's okay. Everybody? Yes? Okay. Here we go.
While I was drawing, my friend come from behind and he's like, well, dad looks stupid. And then he started laughing. I was like, wait, that actually looks like stupid. You know what? Painting is stupid. I'm not going to do painting. It's just not my thing. I can't do it. Whenever I tried to do painting, a voice came in my mind. My friend saying, hey, it's so stupid. One time, my mother bought brushes, canvases, paints, and I was like, you know what? Let's actually try painting. My mom came from behind. Oh wow, Rhythm, you have drawn this. It's so good. Yeah, but the voice in my thought too said it's so stupid. The voice is like, no, Baba, I didn't say anything. Then I understood. It wasn't the friend who was telling me that the painting was stupid. He only told me for the one time, but not for every painting. It was between me and my own thought. It has happened many times, like if I play guitar and then I can't do one chord or one notation. Then the voice in my brain says, it's stupid. I'm like, no, I know it's not stupid. It's also cool. I can do this, that's what I know.
That's Rhythm. And Rhythm shared the story at one of our open mics. That's a good story, yes, that's a nice story. He's shared it well. But the actual content of the story is also really interesting. What Rhythm speaks about is also so cool and interesting. And because the subject matter is interesting, the way he speaks, of course, is nice, you want to listen to that story. And before you know it, the story is done. And that feels nice, right? This is for all the kids. You've heard at least one teacher or one speaker or somebody that you know who speaks so well that you're like, I like I want to listen to this person. And on the contrary, there are people who they speak and they speak and they speak, and you're like, like this takes too long. So this is a skill. Like everything in the world, we can learn how to speak well. Why do we want to learn how to speak well? Because it also feels very nice when somebody reacts to what we are saying. At the same time, for all the adults, I hope you can start seeing how when a child's talking about something small in their life, something they see, something they feel, they can immediately start observing details in everyday life. And then it becomes so much more than just speaking. And on the outside, it does feel like, oh, this is just about speaking. But as you do this more and more, and as all the kids at Tiny Mike Story hopefully have realized, the speaking is just the tool. The telling of story is just the tool. When you can talk about what you see, you start observing small details in everyday life. When you can talk about what you feel, you start better articulating, understanding emotions that you have. And over the next few days, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. But for now, I want to introduce the Tiny Mike Story game to everyone so that you could do this at home as well. This is the basis of everything we do. The Tiny Mike Story game is intended for families to help connect, is intended for kids and parents to help reflect, and is intended for the families to also express with each other. So the three pillars that we had are directly what have led to this. It's very simple. For 2 minutes, we think of what happened today. What did I feel about what happened today? Now you might say, nothing interesting happened today. I just had a boring day, and that's fine. I want you to think of what happened today and what did I feel about what happened today. And then everyone in the family sits together, and 1 minute at a time, you tell your story. And you begin with the oldest in the family and go to the youngest. So for all the kids, if your parents say, okay, Sudarshan said, do this homework, you say, Sudarshan also said, you have to tell the story first. So you have to ask your parents to tell the story first, and then you share the story. And at the end, you have the discussion where there is no feedback. And in the course, I explain more about this, but I can also tell you very, very simply the reason there is no feedback is because the act of telling a story and talking to each other and helping the child reflect on it is going to help them get better, not any feedback that you give. Let me play a video of the kids in how they are thinking of everyday life. So, for all the kids on the call and also people who have been kids, so all the adults who've been a child in the past, this will apply to you. This is, could this be a story? Is what the kids are saying.
Anytime something like happens or I feel something, I think, could this be a story? Where do stories come from? For me, I think they come from everyday life. Even Sudarshan says this in the reflection calls. He says that stories can be in everyday life. All you have to do is think about your entire day, and then you might find a small seed that could turn into a great story. Whenever something like not unexpected happens, then I think this could be a story. Let's say you were on your computer and you found something that was very interesting. You clicked on it and you found something totally brand new. You can talk about that. You can talk even about the smallest issue. As I reflect in my day, I think, oh, I met a dog and the dog was really cute, and that made me think about, oh, even I want a dog. Could this be a story? My mom who scolded my mother, I was thinking, could this be a story? It could be really small things, like I found someone's handwriting that was really neat and beautiful, and even I want handwriting like that. That could be a story. When I hit Advitya so badly. He started crying for half an hour. Then I was thinking, could this be a story? Let's say in school you had like, you've gotten a low mark and you're like, oh no, my mama's going to scold me. Like that. You can talk about that. Just don't tell your mother. Me and my friend were just roaming around and we saw a rainbow on the ground. I was thinking, could this be a story? Whenever different ideas come in my mind, I just think of this. Could this be a story? Anytime something happens, you can be like, could this be a story? Could that be a story? Could this become the best story anybody has said?
Okay, could this be a story? If somebody has a pen and paper around, please write this. If you can go through daily life just looking at everything, asking, wait, could this be a story? What you will start seeing is every time you have the tiny mic story gathering with with your family, you will be able to find stories very easily. And the workshop today and tomorrow is for everybody who's been a child. So, whether you're a small child or an adult, my intention is basically to give you everything that we've learned from teaching all of these kids so that at least a few of you feel like, hey, this is nice and I want to implement it at home with my child. So, that's what I'm going to do. And the first step here is for all the kids and all the parents and all the kids who, and all the parents who've been kids, think of, could this be a story? As different things happen in your life, could this be a story? As different things happen and you feel something, you ask yourself, could this be a story? And just this one small switch is going to take you to a place where you're like, oh, there's so many things that I want to speak of. And the Tiny Mike Story game with your family is where you speak about it. Now, let's actually practice this right now. This is what we do in the live sessions with the kids. We're doing it with a small group of kids right now, and then slowly we'll expand to more. But for now, we're going to try doing it live. It's very simple. 2 minutes to think of what happened today and what did I feel about what happened today. And after that, 1 minute at a time, we'll tell a story. I'll tell a story first, and then perhaps I'll invite a couple of you to tell a story too. And at the end, because there's more of us here, I will give 1 minute for you to share a story with your family. So everybody gets to share. Okay. Does that sound okay? Give me a thumbs up. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So 2 minutes. Now, in these 2 minutes, what do you do? In these 2 minutes, it is up to you. If you want, you can just sit and meditate and think of what happened today. What did I feel about what happened today? If you feel like you think better when you move, you can get up and stand and move around. If you think you want to touch the four corners of the house and run around, you could do that. If you want to write something, you can write that. Anything is fine. But for these 2 minutes, we will have silence. So nobody will speak. And don't be confused. But for these 2 minutes, all we are doing is we're thinking of what happened today and what did I feel about what happened today. And then I'll invite somebody to come and share. If that's okay, give me a thumbs up and we start. 2 minutes for reflection. Your time starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so that was 2 minutes. Hopefully, you thought of a story. 1 minute for me to share my story. Everybody, give me a countdown. Everybody, show me five, four, three, two, one. Who is moving my slippers? Every day, I come to my office. I take my slippers off at the door, and when I come inside, keep them in a specific place. When I'm going out for the last 2 days, I see that my slippers are moved and sometimes they're here, sometimes they're there. And I am like, which neighbor of mine is doing this? Yesterday, I just got out in the middle of the day to see if the slippers were okay, and they were okay. Then I got out in the evening. Are they okay? They were okay. Then I got out at the end of the day. They were again not okay. And I'm thinking, what is happening? How are the slippers moving? And you know how they were moving? I got to know yesterday because I spoke to the neighbor. There's a squirrel that comes from the window and plays near the slippers. It's the squirrel that's moving my slipper. That's my tiny Mike story. So that's the way you tell a story. The story doesn't need to be great, it just needs to be told. It needs to be from something from the last 24 hours, something you saw, something you observed, something you felt. Perhaps we'll have somebody here who can share their story. Who wants to share a story? You could just raise your hand up. Okay, I see Atharv's hand is up. Atharv, could you unmute? 1 minute for you to share your tiny mic story. Your time starts in, everybody give him a countdown in five, four, three, two, one, go.
Have you ever thought that on your final exam means math exam, and I was not that much ready about all that. And the questions which were came inside in the textbooks, and the most of the questions were came in that summary part thing. And my father was saying that read the summary, and I was like, this is not the part of the syllabus, so it's just time waste. But that questions were so difficult, and because of that my 3 marks are cut off. But never mind, I just written all of the exam, and guess what, a bottle felt on my supplementary sheet, and hopefully that was not that much filled. That was my tiny mic story.
Okay, well done. This is how we give an applause if we can't actually applaud. Okay, well done. That's Atharv. Okay, perhaps who else wants to go? Darsh, do you want to share? 1 minute for you. Can you unmute? 1 minute for you. Your time starts in five, four, three, two, one, go.
As I was saying, I got this yesterday and today I brought it to school. Well, the thing was that bringing to school made me feel very much worried because I used it for calls to call my parents. But the thing was, I felt like it might ring in the middle of the class, and I didn't want that to happen, so I thought of putting it in the bag. But I also felt that it would make a loud noise in the bag as well. I kept worrying about it, but after coming to school, it just didn't ring. I just realized that I only had my parents' numbers and they knew the timing I'd be in school. So basically, I didn't even need to worry about anything. And I don't know why, but I kind of enjoyed the rest of the day with my watch and wasted the charging also a bit. But still, I had no worries with my watch for the first day it went to school with me. That's my time experience.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Darsh. Well done. Let's give him a round of applause. Perhaps we have time for one more before we ask everybody to share. Who wants to share? I don't know what your name is. I see OAS5C. What's your name? Yep. You could, you're on. Yeah, you could unmute. You're on unmute right now. Yeah. What's your name?
My name is Os.
Os. Oh, Os. That is the name. Okay, that's actually such a beautiful name. Great. Os, you're ready with your tiny mic story? Your time starts in five, four, three, two, one, go.
Today, when I woke up to go to school, I got ready and I went out of the door and I heard blasting music. And when I looked around, I realized it was coming from my front neighbors. I was like, it's so early in the morning, why are they listening to disco music? And I started laughing. And I laughed all the way till I went to school. And my teacher started asking me, why are you laughing so much? That's my tiny story.
And wonderful. Let's give her a round of applause. So it was wonderful for all the parents and the kids. She finished 20 seconds before time, but I didn't interrupt. That's one of the rules of the games. And I've explained this more in the course in case you want to see, but even if you don't understand it, just take it from me. There's a very specific reason for every single rule in this game. One of the rules is 1 minute is 1 minute. So if you are in the middle of your story at 1 minute, you stop. If you are done with your story in 30 seconds, you wait for the rest of the 30 seconds. The parent goes first, the child goes later. All of these are rules that need to be followed. In the discussion section, you don't give feedback about, oh, your story was good, not good, all of that. No feedback. Okay. For now, I'm going to put a minute again in the timer. What I would like everybody to do, whether it's a child or an adult, is find somebody that you could share your Tiny Mike story with. 1 minute only. And you could just share the story with somebody around you. If that is okay, everybody, give me a thumbs up. Your time starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, that was 1 minute. That probably wasn't enough time for you to finish your story, but that's no problem. This is the practice. You could do this by yourself later as well with your family. Here's what I want everybody to do: go and tell your parents, if you are with your parents or if you're by yourself, that hey, no matter what, let's just play this game every day. You don't need me to do this. You could do it with your parents. For those of you who are adults, see if you can also play this game. I've run this for adults and for kids, and it works excellently for everyone. Now, a few things here. We've got about 15 minutes, and I'll just wrap up in just a while, and then we'll have some question answers as well. One is the story needs to be from your life. Now, why is that? Why does it need to be from your life? Because, as the kids will explain, stories from your own life are interesting. So, for all the kids listening, when you are thinking of what to talk about, you can keep this thing in mind.
The only person who can tell your own story life is you.
I think the most important stories always come from my life and not from anything particular like a show or a TV show or a book.
Stories that are from your own life are more interesting than other stories
because there's a chance that the audience might have already experienced that story before you and it might not be as interesting to them.
I forget a lot of things. Every day when I come home from school, my mom is already there waiting on the stop. She gives me a big hug, but immediately after that she starts asking me, how was your day? What did teacher teach today? What did you eat in lunch? I'm like, Mama, wait, I'm still thinking. I don't remember what I did in English. I don't remember what I ate. And then she asked me, what did you play? And I immediately gave the answer that Mama, we played police chore. Then she asked me that how do you remember this but not your studies? Studies were long back, Mama. We played recently in the lunch break. But then she was so smart that she asked me that why don't you remember what you ate in lunch? And I was like, I don't have the answer. But now because of Dr. Binox, I know why do we forget. Our brain has two types of memories. In the short-term memory, it can hold up to 7 things at a time, but only for 20 to 30 seconds. The brain throws out the information which is not needed and transfers the information which is needed into the long term, where it is stored for decades. So though you don't remember what you wore on last Monday, I'm sure you remember how you celebrated your last birthday, don't you? In this video, I spoke about Dr. Binox, but this became boring. So I also added my own experience in that, which made the story interesting. Because some people might have watched that video too, and they might be bored, but they have never watched you speaking about your own experiences, which makes the story more interesting. So the only person who can tell your own story life is you. The most interesting stories are always in your own life.
Okay. The most interesting stories are always in your life. No matter how old you are or how young you are an expert of one thing, which is your own life. Nobody knows what's happened in your life better than you do, which means the most interesting stories that you can talk about are also from this area that you are an expert on. That is the basis of everything that we're doing. Tomorrow, I'm also going to show you some other tools, some other ideas to come up with these stories. And then over the next days, I'm also going to talk a little bit about how to make all of these things work. All of this, by the way, all of the videos that you saw are actual students of Tiny Mike Story who went through our program and then they made this video. So what better evidence of this working than actual student who can explain it in their own words? And I'm biased, of course, but I do think that course is probably the best course on storytelling, public speaking that there exists, because it's taught not by some teacher pontificating, but by an actual student who's gone through the process in simple words. If you have already enrolled for the course, all through this week, I will be taking these sessions and the recordings will be available on the course platform. If you're meeting me for the first time, no problem. Just today and tomorrow, it's free for everybody. So you're welcome to join in and take from this whatever you like, you can implement. My suggestion is if you can do this every day, you will get better. The way to get better is very simple. If you do something again and again and again, you get better. If you do something again and again and reflect on what is happening, you refine what you are doing, you get better faster. So, how do you do something again and again? And how do you do something so you get better and get better faster? That's the way you think about it. Now, you might have questions. This is for parents, okay? You might have questions about how this program works. We started with in person open mics that we hosted. Volunteers hosted it. We just thought it needed to exist. We got a bunch of kids to come and we taught them. Those kids have made the course. Then we opened up the course for more people. So the course is self-paced, as in it's pre-recorded videos, all of the ones that you see, and a separate video and a separate course that I have taught, which is for parents. You can find it at tinymicstory.com, tinymicstory.com. It's self-paced, it's pre-recorded. We've taken a lot of effort to make it super easy to understand, and it explains all of this. So you can go and be a part of the course there. if you are a part of it, all through this week, I'm going to take sessions live using different videos from the course so that you can better implement it at home. If you can't make it live 6:30 to 7:30, there will be a recording also. Then the next thing is some kids who have completed the course get invited to be a part of my live sessions. So Darsh here is a part of my live session. Atharv is a part of my live session. There I teach Monday, Wednesday, Friday. These are live sessions that the kids attend, and we play different games to get the kids better at speaking. Right now, these are not open for everybody. They are only open for people who have completed the course, and then at the end of that, they can apply to be a part of it. Now, what is it that happens in the live sessions? I can tell you about this, and there are parts of this that you could do at home. Every child gets a dashboard like this. Now, this you won't find even on our Instagram page because for 6 months now, we've been testing this. From June, actually, we've been testing this and we found that it works really well. This, for example, is Anvay's calendar. And Anvay has shared a story every day from June the 2nd for 110 days. And wait, we've got Shlok is also here. Shlok's mother is here. So Shlok has sent a story every day for 68 days. In fact, he sent a total of 147 days and he's only missed on the day that he had to travel to Iceland. In fact, let me see, and you can see any of these. Let me see if I can play one of these.
Those few moments before you get the results are always the most tense. Today I got my English paper and I knew I did well. But in my mind I was thinking, what if something went wrong? What if I got something bad? I kept thinking about it and then I went up to the teacher and she was calling out people's names and giving them the paper. I crossed my fingers and walked up, hoping that nothing would go wrong. Once I got there, she went through the papers and got mine out. I looked at it. The scary green lined paper was right there. Then she handed it to me and I looked at it. I got an A. Let's go. I guess I was worried for nothing. Well, I have to be worried for math. That did not go as well. That's my tiny Mac story.
So Shlok here and all of these other kids have been sharing stories every day. And you will see it's actually quite simple. There's no editing, nothing. You're just uploading the story for yourself. For all the kids, I would love if you do this. You don't need to send it to me, but just for yourself, record a 1 minute tiny mic story today and do it every day for 7 days. And see whether at the end of 7 days, your seventh day story and your first day story, is there any difference? I take sessions for adults and I've made all of them do the same as well. And it's been amazing. There's so much of change that happens just by doing this. In fact, we've got Shlok's mother here. Yes, hello, Shlok's mom. How are you doing? Would you perhaps share from a mother's perspective what has this journey been like for Shlok and what changes have you seen and what other things that you observe about this program and about Shlok?
The changes that I have seen in him is, of course, quite a few. He has always been somebody who was, had a lot of thoughts and ideas, but he was somewhere a little more reserved to be able to express it in a more concrete way, in a crisp way, which he has been learning and improving, I think, in the last 5-6 months, or I think from May he's been with you. And the best part is that coming for these sessions, doing this and maintaining the streak, it is something which is very motivating to him for some reason, and he just enjoys it even after a long day, after classes and school. I think all kids in Tiny Mike story, I think that's a common factor. Yesterday we had Atharva sitting with no electricity, just a bulb, but he didn't want to miss the class, and that says a lot. And I think all kids, irrespective of what age, they are doing wonderful. So Shlok has become much more expressive with his voice modulation, with his expressions, and the excitement which comes when he speaks. I think this is one of the best decisions I took to join Tiny Mike Story. Thanks.
Thank you. By the way, for all the parents, I'll tell you what, I didn't ask Malaji here to attend the session, but we're so lucky in that the original group of parents have such a lot of attachment to Tiny Mike Story and have shown us such a lot of love. I had put on the WhatsApp group that, hey, I'm taking this session. And she by herself said, hey, do you want any of the parents to come? I'd be happy to share my feedback about this. So thank you so much for sharing the feedback as well. For all the parents, the intention here is to, like, the goal and the vision is that every child sits at home every day for some time with their parents telling a story. If you do this every single day, you will see incredible change in the way the child speaks, but you will also see incredible change in the way the child bonds with the family. The child becomes more confident, observes small things, and becomes more emotionally intelligent as well. Uh, you will see this again and again in all of these stories of the different kids, right? This is Anvay. This is Kiara. You saw Kiara in the video. This is Miraya. You saw Miraya in the video, and you'll see all of them have gotten like streaks for multiple days, which is what, let me see, Darsh is here, no? I think Darsh, what is your current streak? 89 days. Okay. Yeah. So Darsh has shared a story for 89 days. Perhaps what I can ask Darsh is, Darsh, tell me, why do you have this streak for such a long time? Is it easy for you to maintain the streak or is it difficult?
I mean, it's easy unless you think about your life. Like, you can speak anything about your life that you just zoom onto. So, you can have a story from every single day, and the streak actually motivates the everyone. Like, even I get motivated by the streak, and so there's just two things which makes it easy. One, the motivation, and one, the fact that the story finding is much easier now.
Yes, great, fantastic. Thank you, Darsh. For everyone listening, today, tomorrow, I will share a little bit from inside the course so that you can implement it. My hope is that if nothing else, you can at least start doing this at home. If you are already enrolled in the Confident Child Blueprint, as in if you've already bought the course, you can continue Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because I'll be taking different sections from within the course live like this every day, 6:30 to 7:30. And this will be recorded. So if you can't do the live thing, at the end, you can also be a part of you can just watch it later. And all of these sessions will be done this way, as in they're not one-on-one sessions. At the end of doing this program, I will invite a few people to be a part of the live sessions, like how Darsh is, Shlok is, Atharv is, Miraya, Kiara, all of these kids are. The reason only a small group is because I teach all the sessions, and there's only so many number of kids that I can teach. All the course details you will find on tinymikestory.com. You'll see a little bit of my background, what are the different things that have led to Tiny Mike Story. You'll see a lot of details about that on tinymikestory.com. It's a self-paced course, and if you register before tomorrow day end, you can attend the live sessions every day from Monday as well. Okay, I'll pause here. If anybody has questions, please put it in the chat. The reason I'm not asking you to unmute is because I'm also recording this so that others can see it, and I want to keep it crisp and brief. And what you will see is a lot of the questions that you have are already answered on the website. The current course is only self-paced, pre-recorded. That's the only thing that we are offering right now. If you do this by the end of Sunday, you can be a part of the live sessions all through this week. And if you finish this entire week, some of the kids, you can apply to be a part of the live sessions. How do you do that? You have to record a 1-minute video and send it to me, and then I invite some kids. Okay. In case you missed something, maybe your internet was bad or my internet was bad, don't worry. I will post a recording of this start to end on the WhatsApp group so you can follow it along as well. The rules of the game, yes. Is the course for parents and for kids? The course actually has two separate courses. It's a two courses mixed into one. One is a course which is for parents that I have taught. One is a course which is for kids that actual students of Tiny Mike Story have taught. So the two videos that I showed today are from the course that the kids have taught. So there are two separate courses that when you purchase, both of them come in as one. You'll see all of these details again on the website. There are videos, there's all of this, and there's like a 7 day refund guarantee. So you could just like, you can technically be a part of this entire week and then ask for a refund, and we'll give you the refund. Okay, any other question in the chat? Otherwise, I'm trying to keep this brief so that if you're watching it later as well, you could keep following it. For all the kids, if nothing else, today, what are you going to tell yourself as things happen? What are the questions that you're going to ask yourself? Could this be a story? As you go through different things, I want you to think of, could this be a story? And as you think of this, think of what stories you can tell, and later with your parents, play the Tiny Mike Story game, and there share these stories as well. Tomorrow, I will have this session again where I will introduce a few new tools to help you make the stories better. So you can come back again 6:30. If you come late, I might not allow you inside the session. I will send you the recording. So if you want to be live as a part of this, please make sure you're here before 6:30 p.m. If you cannot, don't worry, I will send a recording on the WhatsApp group. Does that sound okay? Yes? Okay. That's a thumbs up. And uh, there's another question. Oh, if the kids speak about any story, if there are mistakes, how do we make sure that the mistakes have to be improved? Once again, you can keep identifying mistakes, or you can just keep doing something again and again. The way I often give this example, when a small child learns to walk, is every single step perfect, or do they make mistakes in the steps? They make mistakes, no? They'll put one step and they'll falter and they'll fall down. They'll put another step and they'll fall down on their bum. So the thing is, we don't really focus so much on individual steps and the mistakes. We just make the child walk again and again. And over time, the child learns how, even with the mistakes, they can keep moving forward. The same thing is true for every single thing in life. If you learn how to do something again and again and again and again, you will get better, even if you are making mistakes. How do you reflect and refine and get better faster? The course gives you a very, very clear step by step guide to help you get better. This game itself will also help you that way. Okay, with that said, everybody, we are to the end of today's session. I'm sure you have a lot of questions still, but don't worry. Tomorrow, come back. We will play the game again and we'll do some other things. And instead of thinking of these as questions, think of this as a puzzle that you have to solve. How do I find a way to find all of this, all of these questions and the answers? One question is, which age is this course more suitable for? For the parents, I suggest, like, it's for the course is for the parents, and no matter how old your child is, you can benefit from it. For kids, especially the life course, or especially the course taught by kids, we've seen usually it works for kids over ages 7, 8 at least. We do have kids who are younger who are a part of this. Aisha, for example, is 6 years of age, but we've seen usually it's 8 years onwards. As a parent, I think no matter how old your child is, you could have a look at that. Again, you go to tinymikestory.com, you will see a lot of details there, and most of the questions that you have, I think, will also be answered. And in any case, on the Instagram and Facebook now, I will keep sharing more details of whatever we are learning about the course. So if nothing else, you could just follow us there and you will see more details from our sessions and my coaching. With that said, everybody, I'm going to end with some of the stories that the kids share in the live sessions. And at the end, if you feel like moving and dancing, you could dance as well. Was this fun? Give me a thumbs up. Did you have fun at least? Yes, yes. Zadan saying yes. Kashvi is saying yes. I'm sorry if I didn't ask you to tell a story because I wanted to keep it short. Jaden saying yes. Tashvi is saying yes. iPhone saying yes. Os is saying yes. Great. With that said, everybody, I'm going to play some stories of the kids, and at the end, this is the session for today. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Not just any shopping. No, don't go. How much time will I do on the spot? We stopped there alone in the dark. I didn't even have time to prepare. What could they be doing?
I'm really fascinated to see what happens next.
The voice in the back of my head. They're like this big. This happens like 3 times in a year. There's no air inside. By accident, I stepped on it. Oh no! He started crying.
It's crazy.
Can this be my story? That's my tiny Mike story. That's my tiny Mike story. That's my tiny Mike story. There are so many people saying some weird nonsense. My face is completely straight. This. I ignored him. When is she coming? I keep counting the days.
It's raining, it's pouring.
One fly. How are you so thin? I sat on the toilet. Perfect.
The aunties followed us.
It was really unexpected. Censored.
That's my tiny Mike story.
My tiny Mike story. My tiny Mike story. Today we had our field trip. It was like such a talkative class. I would make my signature cookies. I got such good food. Is there any friends near me? We should do a dance.
Terrible thing happened.
She has pranked us. The children were laughing. Ha. He pranked this drill. I don't know what to do with it. I ran to my mother all the way to the other end of the campus. I just simply had to convince all my family.
I'm pretty glad.
But so many books. Our birds sing with me. Deadlines. That's my tiny Mike story. That's my tiny Mike story. That's my tiny. I've got the disease of laughing. My dad came early. I left off to eat. We had nothing to eat on the tournament day.
Ouch! Go to for boat ride?
My mom said yes.
I had so much fun.
100 times fun. There was like lollipops. I'm a kid. We went there. What could go wrong now?
Hard.
What's wrong with him? Cheating. That's my tiny Mike story. That's my tiny Mike story.
My tiny Mike story.
That's my tiny Mike story.
Okay, everybody, thank you so much for joining. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.